Something else his other videos don't show you. Here's the old screen. Want to see what it looked like? I'm trying to see. There you go. See the cracks? So this thing sat on a table. It fell off. The lid hit the ground first, and this is what I got. I knew the computer clearly ran because whenever it was powered up, I could still see words on the screen. I could still do things with the keyboard. I just could barely make out what it was saying because the screen was just not working very well. But anyway, that's what a cracked screen looks like. Acer One 722. I got started trying to get the screen off. It's a little tricky, so let me just give you the rundown. So they say take the little screws off down in the bottom corners down here. You have to uncover a little piece of plastic that's covering the screw. Then you can take the screw off. It's in the bottom corner of each screen. And then you rub your hands around the outsides to slowly pop this off, being very careful. I hope this works. Anyhow, another thing I wanted to show you is online videos that I showed had the placings, the screen screwed in different areas. So here's where the screws were at the top. So I took those out. And then down the bottom, there is a screw hole here. I took a screw out of, and a screw hole out over on the other side, which I took out. And then once I had another problem here, there's tape on the side here that needed loosened up on both sides. Also, I took the tape off. There's a piece of tape covering the circuit board, which I think is something I need to do. We'll find out if this works. So I just wanted to show you, if this is where you are, take a breather. Or not. We'll see where it all pans out. Since I got the tape off the sides, I managed to get the screen to lay down like this. Now, I know from the videos it says to be very careful about where this stuff is connecting. See that wire? There's a wire there where it's going into the screen. I'm going to peel that tape off and see if I can get into that to disconnect it. I don't really see much on the other side. Alright, I want to show you something. I took the tape off the back to get the screen separated from the unit. Look how small this is down here. It even looks big on the video. This is incredibly small. This and that go together, and that's what makes the screen work. That's what you don't want to break. And obviously it's probably very easy to break because it's so small. Hopefully I'm not static electricity-ized or anything. But anyway, the scary thing was peeling off the tape. I actually have to take the tape off the entire thing because that's the way the screen comes out. So I guess I'll just use electrical tape to put it back together. Questioning, what did I receive in the mail? This is the brand new screen. The other screen's still kind of hanging out here because I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to rip off. Am I supposed to rip off these metal frames? The answer is, well, the whole shebang comes off. You could see where the little thing that I just pointed out down here, you can see where that gets connected. That looks like the only connector for the whole thing. So I'm feeling a little more positive about the whole thing. At least I know what to rip off. I had some scary moments. What the problem was, this thing here, this metal thing, you have to connect that back to make the screen work again. And the one coming out of the main computer goes into the bottom of the screen. It's a very small slit, as I mentioned before, and that's the thing you gotta be careful you don't damage. So anyway, I finally got it together, and then I have tape over top of it, so I'm hoping it stays together. It pulls apart very easily, so we'll see how this goes. I have a feeling I'm going to end up ripping this apart 5 times before I finally get it right, but I think that's the way I want it. Now it's testing time. If you remember, the black screws are in the outskirts of this thing. There are 2 yellow or silver screws to go to put the final cover on, but before I do that, I want to see if this thing works, so I'm going to power it up. Okay, hit the power, the battery's in, using battery power, not plug power. I heard the computer go, woohoo, woohoo, but nothing. Which means I have to rip it apart again and check the attachments again. The screen back off, it doesn't even, I'm not even so sure that this thing's connected. See how it looks like you have an overlap? Looks like I totally missed it. So I'm going to take the tape off of there and try this again. Wow, I got it. It's so small, it's hard to squeeze together, but it looks pretty tight now. So I'm just going to put the battery in, power up, and see if I see something before I throw this whole thing back together. I don't recommend doing this at home. I may very well break this, but don't want to keep putting it together and taking it apart again. Button and it didn't quite fire up, so I'm going to put a piece of electrical tape over top of this to hopefully help hold it together, because as soon as I flip the screen up, it wants to come apart. So, we'll see how it goes. I was having a hard time getting the screen screwed back in, And the reason is because this little son of a gun over here, I don't know if you can see it. See this here? That's connected to the wire that needs to be on the outside. It was on the inside, nothing was lining up. That's why. I don't know if you can see it. It's connected to the main wire that goes to the monitor. Very important. Oh, not quite here. Power's on. Power doesn't stay on. Okay, unplug it. So here's the problem. Go here and hit the power button. It comes up and it turns off.